Everyone, this is our iteration release video for the product marketing group for February 23rd. I'm going to hand this over to Tina and kind of go around the room, talk about what we worked on this iteration.
Okay. So I showed some of this last release. I've been working on the customer case studies page. I have a new design for an individual customer case study because I've been working now with Chandler and Nicole, and they have a template that they wanted to work with, which really helped us figure out this design. So the biggest updates are now currently we have like a list of benefits on our case studies page. I've turned them into kind of bite-sized chunks of copy with supporting icons and moved them to the top to kind of encourage the reader to keep reading. You know, they'll see these right away and they'll say, oh, I want faster developments. I want less to know more about, tool consolidation, and I want less complex switching. So we're kind of changing the hierarchy of the page now. We've also freed up the hero image. Currently, there's some data points in there, as well as the customer info. So we've moved the customer info down, added a link to learn more about GitLab Ultimate under the solution. So if that's premium, we can put a link to GitLab Premium. We learned from Dennis's analytics report, that the CTAs on the CTAs on the page are working well. So we want to keep them up high and introduce them early. I've also moved the data points down into its own dedicated section. So even though they're lower in the hierarchy, I think that they're still going to be visually prominent because they're going to stick to the browser. I think I do have a way to show that, but I have to show the Figma UI. Yeah, once you have no Figma UI, you can't show the prototype. Oh, well, it will stick to the side. And so the idea here is to show these really cool results, and then right underneath, show a sticky CTA that will follow you through that says, hey, you want these results also? Are you ready to get started? Start a free trial. Or if they're not, ready to do that yet, they can learn about our pricing. Another big change is we decided that we wanted yet another design for quotes, but this one would be solely used for the customer case studies. We want to start adding pictures, photos, and headshots, and Nicole Smith is working on getting some nice photography for us from some of our customers. And we really want these quotes to stand out. And we heard during SCO that we can have, they're working on some new quotes that actually have like numbers attached to them. And so these will have a lot more value as we get some newer ones. The rest is pretty much the same. We'll add some CTAs at the bottom to learn more about pricing and lead customers to our ROI calculators if they're not really ready to pull the trigger yet, and sign up for free trials. That's it for that. Another thing I've worked on is the wireframes for the DevSecOps survey. You're gonna see me fumble for a second because I don't want to look at it in this view. It's pretty good. Okay, sorry guys. Here, there we go. So here's so in short, the survey is we're gonna have one report going out, one survey going out, and one report, but we're gonna release it in 4 different chunks. So for the first quarter, every quarter, for the first quarter, this will look similar to what we have currently on our DevSecOps reports, except the brand team is going to work on the visuals. And then we're going to let visitors know that we're going to be releasing 4 reports. And then the first report will be in this area with a sticky read the full survey with some cool graphics, hopefully some animation, some data viz, quotes, some information on respondent. So here we go, their region, and then a call to action to sign up to get the full report or be notified when new reports are released. And then the sticky nav or the sticky button will be something like this. And then for the second quarter, the idea is to start introducing some tabs. So, hey, look, our second report is out. Move security and compliance over, and then lead with the second report that's out. And then these tab would stick up here like this. And then people can toggle between these two or jump down to read the full survey. And the last thing I worked on are NVC2 updates to the Trust Center. So they that team wanted to have a banner here for that would lead to their customer assurance package. We currently do that, but it's just a link. They wanted to kind of make it more prominent. We added a header here to these certification tiles. And then instead of displaying them in 2, we're going to shorten that block and display them in rows of 3. I think that's it. Oh, and then another banner here that will point to the customer assurance package. And then on the customer assurance package page, we're going to add some breadcrumbs so that visitors can go back to the Trust Center, switching the hierarchy of the header just to add a little bit of a brand positioning to the title. So instead of seeing, currently it says at GitLab, your data is protected in big, we want to show customer assurance package to just kind of for brand recognition there. Banner back to the Trust Center. And I think that's the only change here. I forgot to mention that we're adding some resources also to the security page. That was long. That's it. That's what I did. I'll hand it over to Matteo.
Thanks, Tina. That was awesome. So many things. Okay, let me share my screen. All right. So the first thing that I got this iteration was the GitLab for Startups page. Here it is. It is currently in code review, but this is the review app for the page. Also, a few weeks ago, Javi made a script in Python for image size reduction, and I thought that was super awesome. So I wanted to learn a little bit about that. So I got into trying to remove the duplicates, and I found this awesome article that explains how to do it in Python, and they have this script, this huge script that does it. So I tried it in our buyer experience repo, and I could clean up a little bit the duplicates that we had. The script is pretty cool because it shows the highest quality image and then the duplicates of lower quality in JSON format. So super useful. Also, I was doing some improvements to Slipper components, changing the display one variant because it was cropping on mobile, supporting pixel size for icons because we have some designs that have sizes for icons that we don't have in our component. So now it can support any pixel size. Also worked on making the images keep their aspect ratio for the cards that we use in our research components. And I think that's it. Removed some padding from the button, the tertiary variant that we have because it was always left floating, so we had to remove it. And yeah, that's it for me. Next one is going to be Margaret.
Yep. So for this iteration, I worked on some smaller issues. I'm gonna just share my screen to give you guys some context. Let me know if you could see it. So I worked on updating the GA data attributes for the solutions page. So for all our links and buttons, we added some more specific GA data attributes for more easier tracking of that. I also worked on updating this button for the GitLab education join form. So pretty straightforward change. And I also refactored the software faster carousel, which was giving us some issues with the data layers, just being able to pick up on the BMU events that it fires. So we decided to just try and show all the elements on the DOM, but hidden. Just show those when you were clicking on the module, but those are present on the DOM for our data layer to be filled with the BIMI events. And the other issue I worked on is just getting in touch with our ShareD contact for some ShareD form updates that we need to do in the page just to be up to date with our brand updates. And I think that's it for me. I guess next is Javi.
Thanks, Margaret. This iteration, I worked with updating slippers to make sure that the stage icons are named the same as their stages. I did that. I bumped the slippers version and then brought that into the buyer's experience repo. I went into the features template. I deleted their respective custom logic for those templates and then pushed those changes up. So there's that. And then the header in the continuous integration page was using an old header that was, stale. And so then we updated it to the ones in the solutions. So all of that will have the new updated header and using the components that were used in that project. And I think that's it for me. Up next is, last but not least, Nathan.
Thanks. Yeah, so I the scheduled job for 404s runs every week. So I finally got around to fixing all those broken links, which I know it's a reoccurring thing, but those are done. Yeah, I spiked the Nux 3 migration. So just kind of create an epic and then a bunch of issues. Finished finally the documentation and added or just updated our handbook page to include there's a video that we did with Dave Steer on how to edit competition pages, but it applies to any content on the marketing site. We removed PPS properties from features YAML. I don't know if that has gone through yet, but it's done just on Justin Ferris right now. And so all the references to it are gone. It's just making the properties gone. And yeah, we're just waiting for them to click merge on that. Yeah, and then the next big one is the Fastly SmartLink integration, which you hear about every week. We made some progress, and I'll share my screen. So I know it's not much, it's only terminal for now. But this script essentially is what Fastly does. So it's just a proxy, pretty much that's saying if you're going to go to this URL, which is a review app, and go /de, it's going to give you the German. So it's going to go to us, go to SmartLink, come back to us. Anyway, it goes back and forth, but you get served the German website. And so if you look, this is actually the whole webpage that spits out when you go to DEDE, and you'll see that there's some German in here. So I know it's not much, but to us, this is massive because it means that the connection between us and SmartLink is there and that the translations that live in SmartLink are actually getting propagated like into our website. So it's not working right now if you click on that review app, but it's just because of a cert issue. And so Infra is actually resolving that today. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have review apps that are translated. So it's a huge step forward. It means that hopefully all the other ones should be pain-free. But that's it for me.
Thank you. And see you all next time.